If you are just starting Milky Way photography, there is something really important you have to hear. And this will probably save you months in your astro journey. This is not a video about how to capture the Milky Way, how to plan the shots, how to edit them, the technical stuff. If you want something about that, there is a link below, check it out. This is something far more important. And you have to hear this because 50, 60, 70% of people starting something new will actually fall victim into this effect, and this holds them back from actually achieving great results, at least until they realize it. And I know I was a victim of this effect when I started, so I want to share with you my experience and hopefully help you skip this step. So when I first started, I knew a bit of photographing before. I thought I got great photos. I didn't. Now I know I actually didn't, but back then I thought I got great photos, in general, landscapes, like stuff like that. And I discovered astro, which is a funny story because a friend of mine studied physics too, told me, yeah, let's photograph the Milky Way. Wait, you have a camera, why not? I was like, I'll photograph stars. He was like, try it, you might like it. And somehow he convinced me. I went there and actually captured an image, fell in love, so on, like the happily ever after. But when I started, I thought, yeah, I know how to do it. I know the settings. Yeah, I will just use a high ISO, wrong, by the way. I will use a long exposure time. This is right, this is what you want to do. And the widest aperture of my lens, like 2.8 at that time. And I actually captured an okay image, sheet composition, I won't even talk about that. And then I didn't even know how to edit it to bring the Milky Way out and like all the other details there. But I thought I had the perfect image. I thought I had the best image I could. And this is called the Dunning-Kruger effect. Basically, when you start with something new and you have zero knowledge about that topic, you get a tiny bit of knowledge and suddenly you think you are a master of that topic and that you know everything. Then as you learn more and become better, you actually understand that you don't know anything. You know very little about the topic. And then as you gain more experience and become a so-called expert, it goes up, but it never actually reaches that initial spike. And being at that initial spike might be for like a week or two and then realize you don't know anything. Or it might be for a few years that it holds you back and you don't actually improve. You don't become a student, as I call it, and start learning about the new topic. And this applies to everything, but we're talking about Milky Way photography here for Netscapes. It's my topic, it's what I know about. So yeah, keep that in mind for everything. Basically, it's an interesting effect. Google it, take a look. It's actually very studied and a known effect. Anyway, when I started, I went through that initial spike. Yeah, I know how to do everything. And then it went down. Well, I don't know how to do everything. So what I did is somehow got a second spike in the Dunning-Kruger graph and messed up a second time because I just upgraded to a 14mm lens that was f1.8 and learned a bit. If you are new to this, you don't know him, there was a legend, Alan Wallace. Now, unfortunately, he's not here, but I used to watch his videos and like learn a few stuff from him, go apply that, get a better image, and then realize, yeah, I know everything now. I can do everything I want in astro. And I had this very big ego of knowing how to capture the images. And that's why I hit my second spike, let's say, in the Dunning-Kruger effect, which is something I have never heard of before in anyone else, in any other topic. I just, for some reason, did that twice. And I thought that I knew everything. I didn't even look for new ways to improve my astro. And it wasn't until a few months or probably a year later that I discovered that, wait, most people are using a star tracker. Why? They're getting nice images. If I had to admit, they're getting better than mine images. They're using one of these. What is it? I got one and then started learning again. And I'm still learning. I'm still like every few months, sit in front of the computer with all of my images in front of me, like take a look and see what's actually working for my images and what's not, then I start implementing new stuff and everything. But the start of my journey, I had these 2 spikes that most people should avoid if you can. So how do you avoid them? Basically, you keep a student mindset. I see a lot of beginners especially hesitating to adopt new techniques or even try them out, and they think that they know everything. And the way to break out of this spike and actually start going down to the learning part of the graph is to understand that you don't know everything. No one knows everything. There are always new, better, or different ways to do things, and to actually start trying new stuff. And when you have tried 10 things and you go back to your initial first method, then you are more confident to say, yeah, I tried more stuff, but my initial method is what I prefer. So you know why you are doing that. You are not just using one random method and going with that, or one random approach and going with that. And the second tip I want to give you is, when you see someone with better images than you, that clearly knows what he's doing, just shut your brain up, make the thoughts of, I don't want to learn from him, stop, and accept every piece of knowledge you can get from them. It doesn't matter if you're going to use it or if you like that person in the first place. Just if someone knows something better than you in a field, just learn from them. And what I am personally doing, if I see someone with amazing images, I try to understand what methods they're using for their photos. I analyze their images, their compositions, and so on. I won't copy them. I won't actually go at the same place and capture the same image or use exactly the same editing if I can ever understand exactly what they are using for editing. I just see, yeah, he's doing that specific thing. Maybe I can try that too. Or, yeah, their composition is this way, and I kind of like that. What if I start to implement that as well in my images? And that's how I discover new things, even now. So yeah, the lesson here is always learn from others. Always try to get new ideas, get new approaches from other people, and give them a try. If it sticks, yeah. If it doesn't, go back to what you like and wait for the next enlightenment from someone else. That's my final point for this video. I know you didn't expect to hear all of this in this video. You just expected to hear use the shutter speed of 30 seconds or whatever. But it's a really important mindset shift that, if you remember this, will most likely save you probably years in your Astron journey if you're just starting out now. Or even if you're not and you watched the video so far, there is probably a lesson here, because I know for me, these were all important lessons that I had to learn the hard way. And now that I know them, it's my duty to share them with you. But that said, take a look at the link below to get the written guide about how to do the beginner stuff in Astro. And also, if you want more detailed things, take a look at this video here. It will show you how to plan your shots so you can actually capture great images and not waste your nights.